Welcome to the Seeing Double podcast, hosted by gymowners.com. We're your hosts. I'm Amy Davis.
And I'm Patty Davis.
We're two identical twins with completely different lives. We'll be sharing double the perspective of any topic we dive into.
All right, guys, let's jump in.
So we are back, and I was thinking it would be fun for us to have a little episode on just getting to know us. Nothing like too excessively valuable here, but it will be fun to just get to know your hosts, Amy and Patty Davis.
Yes.
So one specific question I want to open up with is, who do you think is the better driver of the two of us? I want you to answer first.
I would say neither of us really do have that good driving record, but definitely me being better. Amy has the craziest car accident stories, and I'll start with mine to make you feel a little better because mine does not include any second car. So I did hit the deer, remember?
Yes.
But you should know, and this leads into Amy's horrible record, Amy called 911 when we hit the deer.
What the thing was, the deer hit us. You were driving home from, I think we worked at Panera Bread in high school. It was driving home from a shift at Panera Bread. And the deer hit our car. We did not hit this deer.
And I was ready to just drive home, but Amy's already auto-dialing 911.
Because it was hurt and it wasn't dead yet. It was in the road. So I called 911, and this is the problem. I said, a deer has been hit. I did not say
who would do something like that.
I said, we are on Secor Road. This is back in our hometown. We are on Secor Road and a deer has been hit. And I think they said, ma'am, did you hit the deer? And I think I just said straight up, no, we drove up and this deer has been hit. It's in the road. And I couldn't just leave it in the road. That's why I had to call 911. So the best part is they asked us to stay on site until they got there. They had to actually send someone with animal control or something like that too, because it wasn't dead yet. And they pull up. We had not gotten out of our car yet because there's just like a half dead deer on the road. And the police pull up. They walk up to our beaten up dark green Trailblazer, and do you remember
we'll get into
that there was just huge chunks of flesh on our vehicle? It had ran into us so hard that it ripped off some of its flesh and it got stuck in the quarters of our vehicle.
I know. Remember, and then we got home after we had already cleaned it, and Mom found like an eyeball or something, like literally horrible. I remember.
Yeah. So before we dive into mine, one more thing about you. I remember very, very vividly that there was one high school basketball game that you decided to go to without me in Glen Lake. So you took our car, the green Trailblazer that wasn't fully beaten up yet because this is still like early days of the Trailblazer. And you were driving home from the basketball game after having a great time. And like you said, you've never been in a car accident with a second car. This was just you. You ran right into a snowbank. I remember you ran right into a snowbank and you called us. Let me finish this thought. You called me, Mom, and Dad were home. You called us and said, oh my God, I'm stuck in a snowbank. I need help. You were also like a mile from our house. And Dad said, well, can your car still drive? Like, can you reverse out of the snowbank and can you drive home? So on the phone with us, you did. You reversed out of the snowbank. You drove home. You get home and the entire front bumper of a car is missing. When you had backed out of the snowbank, you literally just left the front bumper.
So we turned around and went and picked it up. Yes, I remember that. What's funny though is that I actually thought, well, I obviously knew that I did that, but just in the last 10 years, I've associated that one with you because of your driving record and how bad.
I know. That's the thing about being twins. Sometimes you forget what happens to you or what happens to your sister because you experience no matter what it is. Yeah. I don't think we need to dive into all of my car accidents, but I will just say one of them that happened when we were in Marquette and we had gone to the beach. This is also in high school with the same green Trailblazer. And
yeah, that car.
We had gone to the beach and it had started raining and we had multiple cars at the beach and we had a great beach day. We're wearing our little bikinis. You decided to go home with Mom or whoever else had their car there. I was going to take the car by myself to go pick up strawberry milk. That was all I wanted was strawberry milk. I was going to the grocery store for just strawberry milk. And very long story short, I'm driving to the grocery store. I hadn't put any clothes on. And like thinking back, like I should have got dressed before I started driving to the grocery store instead of waiting till I got to the grocery store to get dressed. I'm wearing I think it was a bright pink bikini, driving to the grocery store, completely run a stop sign, completely T-boned this huge, huge truck.
Not good.
And I was alone because Patty had gone home with her family. And this guy gets out of the truck and he's wearing a full army outfit. Remember, he had just gotten home from the Army or Marines or something, and he was fully dressed in his outfit.
Yeah.
And I am sitting inside my car. First of all, it was still raining, so I didn't want to get out of the car. I'm sitting there in my little pink bikini as he's wearing a full army outfit, and he started yelling at me so loud, remember? So then I called the cops and they had to come. And actually, I didn't end up getting in too much trouble because the guy went like crazy. He was yelling so much, and the police had to ask him to like refrain from coming towards my vehicle and stuff because he was just yelling at me so loud as I'm sitting there in my bikini. I should have found my beach cover up and just put it on, but no, I stayed in my bikini.
So I remember crying at home. I'm like, Mom, Amy's gonna die. Like, that's what I just kept repeating to Mom because I'm like, this is just so horrible. Like, yeah.
After the accident's over, after I've already called you guys and told you what happened, you're like, she's gonna die. What is gonna happen to her?
She's going to jail. Like, not funny at all, but I was worried.
Remember, I had to go to the jail in the courthouse. You were there.
Yeah.
And I just remember crying the whole time because I just am the worst with dealing with emotions. And after hitting this car, I had clothes on now. It was the next day, I think, when we finally went to the courthouse. And I remember walking, trying to find where I was supposed to pay for this. It ended up being like just like maybe $300 that I had to pay to remove points off my license or something. And I remember seeing a man walk out of the courthouse cell thing in a full jail outfit. Patricia, remember? And he had his wrists and his feet with their handcuff things. And I just remember, I'm like, that's going to be me. They're going to take me.
Here we go.
I see this guy in a huge orange, like, striped outfit. I'm like, that's me. That is literally what I'm about to have to change into because I still thought that more was coming for me than what I actually got, which was just a ticket and some dents in my car. But anyways, just to say also, the dude's truck did not have a single dent because it was so big. It was just my front end that got a little bit damaged.
Would you say then that we can agree that I am the better driver?
Yeah.
Although Matt would say that you are the better driver, but...
Well, this is different too because I drive a Tesla now and it can actually drive itself. So I have really patched up my driving thanks to this vehicle that I drive
except
now.
Recently we'll be together like at whatever city. You won't drive. You're like, I don't know how to drive a gas vehicle. Like, shut
I
up,
literally
Amy,
don't. I haven't driven a gas vehicle in so long, and
Yeah.
it is a lot different than an electric vehicle.
So if we were stuck in a situation where one of us had to drive, it would be me.
If it was a gas vehicle, yes.
Yeah.
If it was a Tesla, it would be me. Because you could never drive have you ever driven my car?
I did drive it when you got that first one.
Around the neighborhood?
Yeah.
That does not count. You never drove it out on real roads.
Amy, question number 2. Who is smarter? Because I know the answer to this one, so I need to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so in real world usage, I think I'm smarter. I have a lot more experience and exposure in the world than you do.
That's not
So
the
I
question.
think that,
The question is who is smarter?
No, if we break it out into 2 questions, the first one being who is textbook
Amy's
smarter.
gotta win something.
Who is textbook smarter? Patty. She's very, very smart. She got like a 34 on her ACT when I like could struggle to get a 27. Okay, you scored very high and you are really good at standardized testing, like really good at testing.
God, so good. Yeah.
But if we were to break the question out into day-to-day usage and exposure to the world and street smart, I would say that I'm smarter. You won't go to the grocery store by yourself. But I think that if we were to break it out into one question, combine it into one question, you could be the smarter twin.
Yes. And I think that I have to be just because I'm remembering college. So we had every class together. I think you had one class without me, like freshman year.
Yeah. You did like
hated
the
when you left
turf
for it.
class without me.
Yes. But every other class that we had together, we would leave exams. I'm like, oh my God, I got 100%. Like, I just knew, like, I don't know how I knew these things, but I would just listen to things or like study and just remember it. And we'd be leaving and you'd be like, girl, I'd be lucky to pass that test. It's like, it just came differently to you, which is literally no problem. But I can't believe that I got
it. Actually is a problem, although I did graduate fine. So fine, you can win this category of who is smarter because you have always had a higher GPA than I have too in high school and college. So like every year of college, but not by much. I wasn't far behind. So just to clarify that. But you can take that category, who is smarter. Okay. Let me ask you, who is prettier?
Oh, Amy. Okay.
I'm sorry. I just want to know what you think.
Lead off with like looks mean nothing, but also, like, since you're asking, I would probably say me, but you could also say you. I think you're gorgeous. I think our whole family...
I was just going to say, we have come a long way. If you think back to what we looked like before puberty and before high school and stuff, or actually in high school, I see these pictures of me. I literally look like a dinosaur. I'm like...
The problem was we didn't get ready because we were always just either doing gymnastics or, like, trying to recover our bodies. And so I would, like, go to practice and then I'd go to bed and I'd go to high school, I'd go to middle school with the same messy bun that I wore at practice for 4.5 hours. Like,
I was just thinking that.
People get ready in the morning now. That's what you learn when you get older. Like, people put mascara on. Like,
if we were in high school right now, we would be bullied so bad because we didn't put effort into our clothes. And you should see these high schoolers now. They are decked out. I see them at the gymnastics gym and they look beautiful and they wear makeup and we were not like that.
I'd say we have came a long way. Let's just both, like, agree, like, we look the same and
okay,
maybe one of us is prettier.
I would argue because I have also had some people tell me that I am prettier than you. So I just want to say that. There's days where I'm like looking in a... Thank you. Yeah. There's days where I look in a mirror, I'm like, not today, Amy. But then I look at you sometimes. I'm just kidding.
I don't get very much, so.
Fine, let's just move on from that one. That one was a little bit.
Okay, mine is like, here's a question, but also I don't even know the answer myself. Who is more social? Because I feel like this one has changed recently.
Yeah, I would hands down say you're more social than me.
In the past, but I think you've gotten, like, kind of out of your skin lately and, like, you're going out and stuff and, like,
I'm
married, Amy. I don't do that stuff.
I don't go out ever. I'm very, very, very social with AJ and my coworkers and like the small amount of friends that I have. But you, I think, are like seen as the most social because if we run into someone, so if I'm visiting Michigan and we run into someone that we don't know and they walk up and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, we did this together. I know you this. You're like, oh, hey, want to be friends?
Make them feel good. Yeah. Like, give them the intro.
Yeah, and Amy's so I'm there not like that. I'm like, who is this?
Are you kidding? Who's talking to us? Like, no, like, just smile. Like, they're nice.
I want to be nice to them. It's not that I don't want to be nice to them. I just, like...
You never know what those people are going through, so I just feel like, hey, I remember that. And, like, hopefully they're not lying because then they're like, no, you don't.
Actually, you would be proud of me because in my first job down here that wasn't iHeartRadio... when I worked in the gyms, I was so social. I worked at the front desk of our gyms as I was doing marketing in the background, and I would talk to every single person that walked in the store that walked in the gym. Like you said, you don't know what they're going through. And I was told so many times that was the highlight of their day is being welcomed like over excessively by the blonde at the front desk. Like, hello, that's me. So that used to be me. And I just don't feel like I have those skills anymore. So maybe that's something that I need to get back to. But I would definitely give you the category of who's more social.
That is just interesting because I probably would have gave it to you. But that's good news. I just feel like I've like always ended up in cities where I don't know anybody. So I'm just like,
you just always meet people and you become friends with them so quickly when I'm like still with the same two friends that I've had for 5 years. Yeah. But they're my good friends.
You, so.
One question to wrap this up. Between the two of us, actually, wait, here's a very clear answer to one. Who's older? Me. That's obvious. I just wanted to be clear that
you have to win.
Well, no, because this is leading into the question. So I'm 30 seconds older than Patricia. 30 seconds
20
older than Patricia.
Early.
Yeah, actually, Mom says less than half a minute. So 20 seconds older. But here's the question. Who is more mature?
Me. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I agree.
I like feel like sometimes we do things and just the way your brain works, I'm like, my brain never went there once. Like, what? You do respond to things just with like some fun. Like I usually have to like digest something and then like get excited about it, where you're just like, hell yeah, let's go. Like first day of work, can't wait.
No, I know.
I don't know.
My brain is a very interesting place. Although yours is also an interesting place. I get some interesting texts from you, but I agree. Yeah. I think that you're more mature, and I think I actually said that in my maid of honor speech at your wedding.
You did.
I did.
Oh, you gave me all the
because you didn't cry once.
Because I had never worn fake eyelashes in my life, and I'm wearing them. And actually, Amy, this you should know, I did cry when I was walking down the aisle, and I got up to Matt at the front. I'm like, Matt, do I still have eyelashes on? Like I literally hadn't cried, and I could feel like something coming down here. So I'm like, if that's the glue, like I don't have mascara on.
So let's just say one more thing about those fake eyelashes.
Oh my God.
Neither of us have ever done makeup, and
never.
Patty decided about the week before her wedding that she was going to cancel her makeup artist because we didn't love like
too
the
early.
look of heavy makeup. And it was like
Yeah.
6 a.m. where she was wanting to come. And it was just Patricia and I that needed our makeup done. So guess who did Patricia's makeup on her wedding day?
She did.
Yeah. And I remember putting on your eyelashes.
First time you've ever put eyelashes on.
Put them on first and they were like fully shifted inward here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it looks so good. And I was
And
waiting
then
for
I
it to
looked
dry.
at like mom and Matt's mom, and they're like, no.
Yeah. So anyways,
Yeah.
sounds like the eyelashes worked out and you did not cry on your wedding day outside of like the couple little droplets that may have came when your
Which
veil
I-
was hiding your
yeah.
face. So that doesn't even count. So that
Agreed.
totally
That's why I
declares
did it.
you as the most mature.
Who is like funnier though? Because that's the opposite.
I guess
of
that is the
mature, right?
opposite. I think maybe that would be me.
Me too. I think you're very funny. I think
Yeah,
AJ
you're
is
not
hilarious.
funny.
And
Yeah,
I think you've
maybe-
been hanging out with him long enough, but like it's starting to come to you a little.
But the problem is neither of us have enough like outside knowledge around
I know.
movies and stuff to talk about to be funny about that stuff. It goes right over my head every single time.
I know.
We'll have to talk about that another time. If I were to be asked right now, what is your favorite movie? I would freeze.
I would
Like,
say the movie I watched yesterday.
what movie did you watch yesterday?
Oh God, what was it called? I watched Bird Box.
Oh,
Not
I have
funny
seen
at
that.
all.
It's when
But,
they're
like,
blind.
When people reference movies to me, I'm like, I remember watching that movie 2 years ago, and I couldn't tell you one thing that happened. Like I could not tell you what happened in that movie. So it's hard for me to be funny because
We've also
like,
missed all
I'm
the
not in the loop.
classics. Yeah, we've missed
Yeah.
all the classics, so that's why we also can't be funny about them. Is because we don't know
agree.
where they go.
I know.
Okay, I think that we should wrap up on that note, even though we will need to dive into more serious topics as well as more movie conversations in the future.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, this was a little get to know you episode with Amy and Patty, and we can't wait to see you next time on Seeing Double and Unfiltered Twin Talk.
See you soon. Bye.